Hey, it's Soul with Warcraft Weekly, your copium-filled recap of the week. Hit the like button, subscribe for more coverage, catch me live, and let's go. The Time Rift quest is fixed, but only sort of, not really. It turns out that after exhaustive testing and me accidentally funneling extra rep and resources to a single character, I can say with lots of confidence that the Time Rift Weekly is meant to be a quest shared across the account. It's unfortunate, but somewhat mitigated now that we can trade the flake currency across the account at a 1-to-1 ratio. Testing this out was pretty simple. I was on 2 accounts simultaneously, I picked up the weekly, and ta-da, both characters had the quest. And then I turned it in on one character and ta-da, both characters did not have the quest. It's still buggy though in that some characters can still pick up this quest. It seems pretty random, so if you happen to be on a character that can pick up the weekly, go ahead and do it at your own risk. Other Time Rift bugs have slowly been fixed, but notably the reduction of lag. It turns out that the entire zone shard needed to be nerfed to reduce the number of players present, which in turn would make the boss encounters more stable. So far, lesson learned, and it better be, because we can expect 10.1.7 to funnel all sorts of players to zone contents for not just cosmetics, but actual gear that can probably be cranked up to heroic item level. In some too little too late news, players sitting on too many flight stones or conquests can buy up equipment chests for their alts. You can buy PvP strong boxes at Valdraken from the PvP vendor. The Mythic Plus boxes can be bought from the vendor down in Loam, that's the one that lets you buy crests. This follows the usual pattern from previous seasons, but with gear upgrades in mind, it's kind of a bummer that the Mythic Plus version of the chest, it only gives adventurer gear, with a max item level of only 411, and it's not even usable in the Revival Catalyst. I guess it's just made to be a Flightstone dump, and to be fair, there are a lot of ways to obtain tier gear these days and probably later in 10.1.7. And speaking of, this week's 10.1.7 patch felt a little bit light, but it added another gameplay option that no one expected, and for people who don't enjoy dragon riding, that they don't even want. A challenge course option has been added, and I only checked out a few tracks, but the change here is that the green wispy things that give you vigor, they no longer appear. It's not a massive deal, because the clear times are adjusted, but what you need to adapt for is that there's no more free vigor as you go. That means depending on the course, you'll need to rely on skimming to get some of your juice back. It was still fun though, and eventually all tracks will have this option. There's a new feature being added to help against nasty whispers that you get after you smoke someone in PvP, or you reveal your political affiliations, or if you happen to be sitting on your shop mount. Starting in 10.1.7, the game will auto-moderate whispers, which is to say it'll flag certain words and phrases, and instead of displaying it right away, it'll give you a warning asking if you want to see the whisper anyway. I mostly like this, but also kind of not, because, okay, one, this is a game. It's not okay for people to treat each other poorly, and whatever helps, helps. But the instant moderation sort of means that the receiver can, well, kind of ignore the harasser, which is good, but it doesn't exactly punish the bad behavior either. I wondered to myself, like, would it be so bad if the auto moderation thing were to also flag that offending user to the WoW team, and then after so many trips, the game will auto silence that account? Maybe that's a step too far. Perhaps the auto mod will at least, like, save those instances, so that if someone does report that player, a human moderator can look at all the crap that was caught by the system. Maybe there ought to be a discussion from this, and I wonder what you think. Tons of achievements have been added to legacy professions to further roll out a kind of old world renaissance, at least for that segment of players. There are achievements for having maxed out every profession in every expansion, and there are individual profession achievements for having crafted stuff or having crafted special items. Some of these achievements, like making some of the special Thunderforged Mist of Pandaria weapons, some of those are retroactive, but most of them are not. With how well the Zul'Gurub and the Nax restorations have been, we can likely expect more long-lost transmog to be restored, new achievements, or, for some new and unused recolors of items to reveal themselves in the patches to come. We still haven't seen cosmetics directly related to Dream Surges, that's the outdoor content activity coming in the patch, but there's still some cool transmog coming. Night Elves who are already getting heritage armor might get access to their signature glaive weapons as transmog appearances. White-colored dragon riding skins may arrive as soon as the upcoming patch. We're getting a glimpse of the updated holiday revamp with a new version of Scarlet Monastery's graveyard where the Headless Horseman encounter took place. A broom mount was found via data mining with indications that it's going to be included in the trading post. I mean, come on, want to guess what month it's going to show up? I'm thinking spring, cause, broom, spring cleaning, It's totally obvious. There are also recolors of the Recruiter Friend set popping up through data mining. We don't know how to get these sets, but there is a Secrets of Azeroth event coming later in August. It could be that these models are going to be hotfixed in for that event, and what we're seeing here from data mining will come after the fact. Very cool, possibly very blah for those players who paid their way into, getting their Recruiter Friend rewards, but I mean, that's kind of their choice, wasn't it? BlizzCon tickets are going on their second and maybe final sale tomorrow, or today at 10 a.m. Pacific, so good luck. And this week they unveiled the BlizzCon 2023 map. Here it is in all of its glory, and the two most notable things include one, the unannounced survival game I guess is not going to have a significant presence if at all, and the repurposing of Hall D. Historically, it was by and far the biggest out of the halls, but the only thing that were really there were, well, chairs. Tons and tons of chairs. And cameras and a stage for opening ceremonies and the talent and cosplay contests, but most of the time it was used for panels throughout the days. People turned out for the big panels that were featuring new stuff, but outside of those, Hall D was kind of a lot of empty space. Now that the big shows are happening at the nearby arena, Warcraft as a full franchise is going to take up this massive space, and it's hard to deny that some of it's going to be taken by a bunch of PCs to, I don't know, test out a newly announced something. But also being surrounded by Hearthstone and the Darkmoon Fair and the upcoming mobile game, we can count on Hall D to be its own slice of the world of Warcraft, part of the promise that each hall will get its own unique and immersive experience. But this BlizzCon is going to be a bit smaller than 2019's, I think. This map is anything but detailed, but clearly what we're missing from 2019 is the Blizzard Arcade, which featured all the old games to check out. It was neat, I guess, but I guess not neat enough to continue on to 2023. And because seating in the new Hall D will undoubtedly be smaller than before, I wonder just how much of a capacity will BlizzCon have this year. Who knows? Though as we get closer, I hope to see a more detailed map of where's what, both for observers like us and people there on the convention floor. Will World of Warcraft show up on Steam? That's the question that many are asking after an official announcement that Overwatch 2 will join the Steam library on August 10th. It's kind of easy to build a narrative after learning about massive layoffs around Overwatch esports and a likely overhaul of how the Overwatch League works. There's plenty of blame and speculation to go around, including the league streaming exclusively from YouTube instead of Twitch, the pandemic totally screwing with live events, losing the entire China market, and Overwatch itself, including its sequel, which wasn't really a sequel, was it? We can doom speak all we want, but adding Overwatch 2 to Steam it's still a pragmatic and sensible approach to getting more reach out of a free-to-play game. They're not giving up on Overwatch 2 like they did with Heroes of the Storm, which is like the one MOBA that I actually played, sheesh. So what does this have to do with World of Warcraft? In their official statement, Blizzard said that they're bringing a selection of our games to Steam, starting with Overwatch 2. This is a Blizzard statement, not Activision Blizzard. And also, if you haven't been paying attention, the buyout of Activision Blizzard by Microsoft, it's still on track to happen in a matter of weeks or months, with the chance of failure to be nearly zero. So this movement has only just begun, as has the speculation. So league season people, there's your red meat. I'm gonna speculate that other games in the Blizzard library will show up on Steam, such as the Arcade Collection from Blizzard and maybe StarCraft 2, like games that don't exactly need constant updates anymore. I can see Warcraft 3 and Diablo 2 Resurrected being added, and in kind of pie in the sky, copium-filled guesses, maybe Heroes of the Storm could be revived, but I'm more skeptical to see the likes of World of Warcraft being added to Steam. Now, to be fair though, at first glance, it's like, come on, dude, why not? More reach is more reach, especially for gamers who've never played or have long since moved beyond WoW. Seeing a new WoW patch or an expansion pop up on PC gaming's biggest distribution platform, it ought to push the needle somehow. I mean, let's see some additional controller support and throw it on the Steam Deck. Maybe Steam can do better about third-party and bot detection, it's just a guess. But I wonder too, if the value props are really that worth it. Like, would Blizzard and Microsoft be good with Steam taking a cut of the subscription revenue from those players who sign up via Steam? Like would it be worth it to have the users that they otherwise wouldn't get? I wonder how add-ons will be handled on the Steam side of things. Like, do they have to be managed by the Steam Workshop? And if so, how would that affect add-on repositories like CurseForge and Wago? The main reasons why I don't think that WoW will go to Steam is that WoW is everything that Overwatch 2 is not. Now, obviously, this is just an opinion, so feel free to do like a point-by-point takedown of me, but World of Warcraft is nearly 20 years old. That has a competitive side, but also a lot of solo content that Overwatch 2 does not. So it's not nearly as dependent on gotta retain subs, that sort of thing. It's also not free to play, and it's not the kind of game that players can just jump right into. So while impressions and exposure on the Steam client is good, I wondered to myself, like, how many attachments would that meaningfully generate? I'm going to take a stab and make the claim that it might not be worth the short or even the long-term effort. At the same time, if it did happen, it probably wouldn't affect me or my playstyle in the slightest, so where's the harm? Hey, I'm glad that I asked that, because on a lesser but still important note, like, really, let's sit down and think about this. Imagine World of Warcraft on Steam. Cool. Now imagine World of Warcraft on Steam Charts, which tracks player populations on Steam games practically in real time. We've seen countless forum posts and videos with the doomspeak of WoW's health based on all these different unreliable metrics. WoW players on Steam would no doubt be dwarfed by WoW players who continue using the Battle.net client, but we would see like an endless barrage of folks being like, this is the state of WoW per the numbers. The game is dying. What does it mean? So while Blizzard might not care about it for Overwatch or even the World of Warcraft, would having the numbers be available for all to see be a good tool to have in our never-ending discourse? I'd love for you to share your takes. That's the show, and I want to give a deep thanks to our Twitch family for tuning in and hanging with me, our beloved patrons, including the likes of Jeremiah and Deborah, who are stepping it up. Sorry for not mentioning you earlier, by the way, and Marete for joining us. Thank you. And of course, thank you, viewer, for making it to the end. You fed the algorithm, you kept the coffee flowing, and the AC running. Next week, I'm going to dive into the gold making side of things. I'm a little bit late to the Nax farming scene, but I'm curious to see if there's any hustles to take advantage of. So join me live on Twitch for that, and don't forget to like this video and to subscribe so you know when stuff is coming. I'll see you next time. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay breezy.